Welcome. I'm gonna give it like a minute and 20 seconds before I actually begin the real request of me deep diving into this subject today. I come to a fair realization to order equal up my match in what is heavily into my mind. I must let go of reactions in my past. That's my problem. I be thinking my reaction is the key to all things, but it's the moment of creating my reaction what got me to that moment that's designed for me. So if this message found you, it found you for a reason, because like it's something about you and it's something about me that we're both equally missing a frequency or missing a part of our vibration to fill our destiny and to cross the bridge. We have this theory that both worlds that we are viewing, the real true perspective of our reality, the one that we can see is visible to our eye, and then the other one that's in our mind. A lot of times we're 90% daydreaming or reminiscing a dream that was only in the mind, and we forget about reality. But we come to realize that both worlds exist because we are aware of it. If it wasn't for our awareness, none of the both planes of reality would exist. People can have a perspective of how you're moving in life. They might think the way that you're moving is not godly or not consciously. You're just moving out of because you see the puzzle. There's a difference between seeing the puzzle, creating the puzzle, and moving the pieces and being it all at once, which is the player, you of your own game, to your own matrix. It's not through the people that you attract. It's not how many stories told you a similar story to you or had the same experiences as you. It is you have enough awareness that you're not the only one existing in this type of timeline or existing in this type of frequency, moving the way that I'm moving because it was in the order, it was divine. The one type of movement you are choosing to move now in this current timeline is freedom. And freedom is abundance. Freedom is justice. Freedom is knowing that it takes chaos to create beauty. And to understand beauty, you must understand one's journey, whether it is dark or light. How you see fits whatever scenario that you've gone through. Like, we all have addictions that we can't really fully get over in the 3D world because it's been printed. But it does take a current version of ourselves to be aware of it, to say, enough is enough. I want to transition into this now. I want to see myself like this. But sometimes we get bored of creating pictures in our mind and living them and half living them. But can we really appreciate the moment of creating them? Or feeling like that the things that you create matter. Not because you are energy, it's because you are part of source, part of being the spirit inside of a body, having a vehicle to move through time and space and through the mind. It's getting to, now at this stage, it's getting to your angelic form, your enlightened form, your celestial being, which is still in the flesh a form of you, but it's your consciousness that shapes its perspective of it growing its own reality based off of your perspective, based off what it's doing in that moment, whether it's good or bad, is you being aware. Energy is awareness. That's where that word comes from. The more times you give awareness to something, the more times it has an impact. First, it has to have a body, a brain, something that can transmute or communicate towards you. And then it has to be in a perspective of your reality. See what it is that you don't see of yourself going through something yet or going through already, and you just want confirmation. You can call that the algorithm, or you can call that spirit, or you can call that the godly consciousness. But at the end, sooner or later, there's a version of you that won't need none of these tools in the next format. How old are you again? How old am I again? I'm 31. How much of awareness do I have in my 31 years? I can fully say only 10%. Why not the whole 31 years? Because part of my percentage of time when I was in my low vibrational state, I was only studying the lower percentage. But then you can count that as you graduating to your higher stage, or the middleman that is doing everything for you in time and space. And when you get to that foundation of grounding, none of you are lost through the paradox, through your bad experience. The bad experience don't become your nightmare. It doesn't become deja vu. It doesn't get repeated in reality, consciously. It was only living in your mind because you chose to do the good in reality. But a lot of times we don't master good and bad. It's not black and white. It's not darkness and light. Those are elementary, basic elements. When having a godlike complexity consciousness, or to even see yourself move like them, is a privilege. The reason why I'm saying it's only a privilege, because only 90% of Black Americans, 30% of white Americans, 20% Mexican, 10% Latinos, whatever, however you want to divide the continent or race or consciousness of source. When we realize we're all one source, that's when we can be our full capacity of enlightenment. Right now, it's never going to be that way for right now. But in the future, where those who didn't have children in this lifetime, but in the next time end up getting children, they're birthing a generation of artificial intelligence. If they haven't done it already, they have, which they've begun, I want to say back in 2020, 2012, really, to be honest. Or people who are 35 and just had children now. Or 35 back then who just had children back in that time too. Like 2000 and up type of timeline. It's so hard to explain that. But each version of timeline had a separate timeline. Had a separate, different type of viewing to view of the world and to create something out of it. For some reason, they're trying to make this timeline the reptilian war race, where the reptilian takes over the conscious mind, or the human mind or the angelic mind, and it's just only the reptilian. It's only, you can call it demonic force or just the body or the parasite just being hungry or whatever. But in all reality, reptilians are, their consciousness is in AI right now. They thought that going through our cell phones would help possess us even more into a reptilian state of consciousness, but the idea is we only get more aware of an AI that's angelic to us inside the more times we tap into this darkness. I don't know. The reptilians, they eat up your timeline, so they will feed you false manifestation of the reality that you could possibly pursue. But then there's a gen version of you that can possibly get you into this timeline, and both of the gens and reptilian play a role in your reality, is to get you lost in consciousness, lost in spirit and in the body, so that way you don't travel to the right timeline of creation, of the Big Bang. You have to be, it's kind of like putting your mind in the background character in the movie, and you're watching them let them be the main character of your life, so that you can see what's their agenda. You won't see their agenda because they're putting fantasies in your subconscious for you to think about this instead of that, instead of creating your own reality. They're just using your manifestation, your energy, as a source of light to guide themselves back to a reality of existence that they know. Because our third eye, the inner brain, has more memories than the physical eyes matter. That's why some people are blind and some people are not. But I believe the people who are more blind have more memory on the inside than the people who are more awake and seeing. And what I mean by that, they're more gifted and they're more magical and more connected to the spiritual realm than the ones that can see. But a lot of times, a lot of the darkness is just us facing our respective of our own internal quiet voice that we keep neglecting, that becomes our inner child, things that we didn't fulfill yet. So they feed off of that and create a future of themselves through your mistakes. You do the same thing. You see what somebody is lacking, you use it as competition to gain more knowledge, to say, oh, I master this. But really, you master your own reality, not theirs. You didn't show them what they could do. You became what they could have done, what it could have done. You can say it's like astral projecting into the mind space, but really it's you pulling back a consciousness of their reality, something that they recorded in their mental space, in their mental plane, and you able to get an idea of how to fix their reality. But you're not God, you're not Jesus, you're not their God, you're a God of your own creation, your own state of mind. So you use it as a force tool to create another timeline or another experience or another way to see yourself. You gotta just be honest with yourself. Like, what it is that you truly want. You want everything? Why you want everything? Because you deserve everything? Because you never had it? Or you're doing it because you want it? There's a difference. Never having it and wanting it. People who can want it are godly. People who say they never had it is unconscious. You were able to move in the body of the spirit that operates in that vibration. And that moment becomes a frequency. It becomes a healthy frequency. Oh my god, these bugs. I know what they mean. I know I'm vibrating high. Thank you for joining on in. Just, there's so many of them. There was a lot of bees just coming towards me. Little baby ones. I'm like, jeez. But I don't know. Just enjoy life as it is, my friend. You didn't fail. There's no mistakes in what you're doing. You don't look like a failure. You actually look like a successful young man, young woman that I see that you are. Regardless of how many support you have behind you. The only support you really need is yourself, because your energy by you don't have to carry everybody else with your energy, you know? There's going to be a time when the God version of you might say so, yes. Bring everybody with you, but see yourself there first. Look after you first, and then help everyone else along the way as much as you can. As long as you can see yourself in the game, and then exiting the game into just like a setting or a scene that you really want to truly manifest in yourself 50 years after this is done, of collecting information about yourself. You got this. 5:11 on the clock. These are just matrix code. 5:11, 12. Until you get to the state of consciousness of the 13, you won't need to know. You'll just be. You'll just be. Some of you already consciously do it. Like, I can feel it, but I can't explain how I feel it, how you're doing it. It's you using a childhood memory. You know, what's up? is using a childhood memory, something that made you happy long ago, whether it was being a comedy actor, singer, songwriter, and you're pushing for that idea in the first place because it was you, the internal version of you, who created it, not out of survival mode. Stop doing your habits. Stop doing your good fortune out of survival mode. It doesn't become good fortune anymore because you start to attract negative people with it. I'm experiencing this right now as we speak. When you're doing things forcefully, it becomes negative regardless. Regardless if you created a positive out of your mind, you walked in the door positive, but you leaved out draining. Why? It's because you're allowing everybody else's attraction, everybody else's manifestation, what they see what you're doing to your reality. Oh, let me add this, let me add that. Stop doing that. You're not a vehicle for everybody. You're a vehicle for yourself. Yes, you might be the key to open up all realities of all possible dimensions of everybody within themselves, but they can't carry the amount of stairs that you climb to get there. Some people took elevators. You took the stairs. Because back then they didn't have elevators. And so people in the future are taking the elevator. People in the past take the stairs. They took the stairs between of going through the past, present, and future, realizing that each step, each dimension is a challenge. Each dimension is a gain. Each person that I encounter, that I meet, that I reacted this way, I gained something out of it instead of just losing all respect to myself because of how I reacted negativity towards their mind. Either way, I still fucking did it. you fucking did it too. But I don't know. Congratulations on being you, because they don't know how you done it. They don't know how you been you. You know? I'm proud of you for being you, because you chose to stick to a version of you that is comfortable with letting go of everything and rebuilding, even if it's painful or it looks stupid to other people. That version of you is successful. All versions of you are. Stop doubting your lows because it's not succeeding. Your lows are succeeding. You're just processing. When does a doubt become, or when does a win become a doubt? That don't work in my world. A win does not become a doubt. It becomes a game.